Alright, so I'm gonna get comfy. And I'm gonna talk in a weird little voice like this for a little bit because why not? Why not? Why not? But anyway, we're getting ready to read the Gospel of Mary. Alright? There's some stuff missing in these scriptures. This is the Nag Hammadi Library. If I look like I'm tired and I'm kind of tired of talking about things that I've been telling people for a long time already, it's probably because I'm a little tired of it. But I love reading these things. So I won't get tired of that. But yeah, here we go. That's my favorite. Alright. Will matter then be destroyed or not? The Savior said, all nature, all formations, all creatures exist in and with one another, and they will be resolved again unto their own roots. For the nature of matter is resolved unto the roots of its nature alone. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Peter said to him, since you have explained everything to us, tell us also what is the sin of the world. The Savior said, there is no sin, but it is you who make sin when you do the things that are like the nature of adultery, which is called sin. I'm going to elaborate on that just a little bit. Adultery, what it is cheating on your husband, right? So, if you are called to God and to be His, and for Him to be Lord over all things, and you cheat on Him, that's sin. It's adultery. Sin, the definition of it is what an offense to God is. That's what sin is. Okay? Continuing on. That is why the good came into your midst, to the essence of every nature, in order to restore it to its roots. Then he continued and said, that is why you become sick and die. That's why you become sick and die. It's because you think that you can be something when God is the one who gives life. Does it make sense? Because it makes sense. Become sick and die. For of the one who, he who. See, these are passages that have a little bit of stuff missing in them, okay? We'll get through this. He who understands, let him understand. Matter gave birth to a passion that has no equal, which proceeded from something contrary to nature. Then there arose a disturbance in the whole body. That is why I said to you, be of good courage. And if you are discouraged, be encouraged in the presence of the different forms of nature. Okay. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. When the Blessed One has said this, he greeted them all, saying, peace be with you. Because that's what he does. He gives you peace. God is God, and he's going to take care of you. Okay? He said, peace be with you. Receive my peace to yourselves. Beware that no one lead you astray, saying, lo here or lo there, for the Son of Man is within you. Okay? For the Son of Man is within you. Follow after him. Those who seek him will find him. Go then and preach the gospel of the kingdom. God is God. He's Lord over all things. And he's a good father who's willing to take care of you better than you can take care of yourself. And you can't take care of yourself. It's not how, it's law of cause and effect. Cause and effect, it supersedes any free will, guys. Cause and effect supersede your intuitions. It supersedes you, right? God's God. Those who seek him will find him. Go then and preach the gospel of the kingdom. Go do it. It's just that simple. God is sovereign over all things. He runs it. All right? Do not lay down any rules beyond what I appoint for you. And do not give a law like the lawgivers, lest you become constrained by it. So he's saying, don't put any rules on what I've already set up, because you will be constrained by it. Because God is God, and you wanting is going to be a problem until you realize that God is God. Then his peace will be with you. Okay? I appoint for you, and do not give a law like the lawgivers, lest you be constrained by it. When he had said this, he departed. Okay? But they were grieved. They wept greatly, saying, how shall we go to the Gentiles and preach the gospel of the kingdom of the Son of Man? If they did not spare him, how will they spare us? Then Mary stood up, greeted them all, and said to her brethren, do not weep, and do not grieve, nor be irresolute. I think that's what that says. Irresolute, yeah. For his grace will be entirely with you and will protect you. But rather let us praise his greatness, for he has prepared us and made us into men. When Mary said this, she turned their hearts to the good, and they began to discuss the words of the Savior. Peter said to Mary, sister, we know that the Savior loved you more than the rest of women. Tell us the words of the Savior, which you remember, which you know, but we do not, nor have we heard them. Mary answered and said, what is hidden from you, I will proclaim to you. And she began to speak to them these words. She said, I saw the Lord in a vision, and I said to him, Lord, I saw you today in a vision. He answered and said to me, blessed are you that you did not waver at the sight of me, for where the mind is, there is the treasure. I said to him, Lord, now does he who sees the vision see it through the soul or through the spirit? The Savior answered and said, he does not see through the soul, nor through the spirit, but the mind which is between the two. That is what sees the vision, and it and desire that I did not see you descending, but now I see you ascending. Why do you lie, since you belong to me? The soul answered and said, I saw you. You did not see me, nor recognize me. I served you as a garment, and you did not know me. When it had said this, it went away rejoicing greatly. Again, it came to the third power, which is called ignorance. It, the power, questioned the soul, saying, where are you going? In wickedness are you bound? But you are bound. Do not judge. And the soul said, why do you judge me, although I have not judged? I was bound. Though I have not bound, I was not recognized. But I have recognized that the all is being dissolved, both the earthly things and the heavenly. When the soul had overcome the third power, it went upwards and saw the fourth power, which took 7 forms. The first form is darkness, the second, desire, the third, ignorance, the fourth is the excitement of death, the fifth is the kingdom of flesh, the sixth is the foolish wisdom of flesh, the seventh is the wrathful wisdom. These are the 7 powers of wrath. They ask the soul, "Whence do you come, slayer of men? Or where are you going, conqueror of space?" The soul answered and said, "What binds me has been slain, and what surrounds me has been overcome, and my desire has been ended, and ignorance has died. In a world I was released from a world, and in a type from a heavenly type, and from the fetter of oblivion, which is transient. From this time on, I will attain to the rest of the time, of the season, of the aeon in silence." We're going to stop there. I'm just going to give you a little heads up about what aeons are. In the Nag Hammadi scriptures, they're Gnostic texts. And aeons are basically, I don't know how to put it and get it any simpler than, like, an aeon is like a planet that is inhabited, but it's an entity, and it's a spiritual thing. So, like, if we brought everything from Jupiter, I'm going to have to tell you that I do believe the Earth isn't revolving around the sun, but I'm just giving you an example. If we brought Jupiter to Earth, that would be bringing an aeon to Earth, and all of Jupiter's stuff, because it's a gassy substance, right? All of Jupiter's stuff would envelop Earth, and then we would all be, accumulated as a part of Jupiter also. That's what an aeon is, but it's alive. It's a spiritual entity, okay? So, you can also look it up. What does the Gnostic text mean when they say what an aeon is? I think this isn't Marvin Meyer's translation of the Nag Hammadi codices, but if you look up Marvin Meyer's translation of what an aeon is from the Nag Hammadi text, if you type that in Google, it explains it in the book that he translated. He and some of his cohorts translated and also produced a book with the same stuff in it, but this isn't his translation. This is a different author's. I've read this book before. It's just not the same translator. Okay, so carrying on. Of the aeon in silence. When Mary had said this, she fell silent, since it was to the point that the Savior had spoken with her. But Andrew answered and said to the brethren, "Say what you wish to say about what she has said. I at least do not believe that the Savior said this, for certainly these teachings are strange ideas." Peter answered and spoke concerning the same things. He questioned them about the Savior. Did he really speak with a woman without our knowledge and not openly? Are we to turn about and all listen to her? Did he prefer her to us? Then Mary wept and said to Peter, My brother Peter, what do you think? Do you think that I thought this up myself in my heart, or that I am lying about the Savior? Levi answered and said to Peter, Peter, you have always been hot-tempered. Now I see you contending against the woman like the adversaries. But if the Savior made her worthy, who are you indeed to reject her? Surely the Savior knows her very well. That is why he loved her more than us. Rather, let us be ashamed and put on the perfect man and acquire him from ourselves as he commanded us, and preach the gospel, not laying down any other rule or other law beyond what the Savior said. When and they began to go forth to proclaim and to preach. Okay, so it's a pretty good depiction of how they were traveling around as a group. We have Peter, we have several of the disciples, the apostles, working and we're trying to figure things out still, and just being taught and going out to teach what they have been taught. This is what we do. This is what we're called to do. But that's the gospel according to Mary. It's something that I would recommend you actually read and look into yourself. It's not something that I would recommend you sit and listen to somebody talk to it, because these kinds of texts are they're meant to be self-interpreted. You're supposed to look at it and identify with it with how you are, not about how somebody is telling you that it is. It's about how you are and how you can read it yourself and see how it is, see what clicks with you and what doesn't click with you, because you're true to yourself. You understand what I'm saying? If you're being true to yourself and you're not going out there to, for the wrong reasons, trying to be something you're not, and you just surrender to what is and what you are created to be, and then you read stuff, it's a completely different thing, guys. Um, some people, like what I'm saying is, some people read stuff to escape their mind, to escape the situations that they're in. And that's not how you want to be reading the Bible or the Nag Hammadi codices. It's something that you want to be present with you as you read it. When you should be doing that with everything, because all things are needed, and if you don't have all things that are needed, then you're going to be ignorant.